Right, we're back. Yeah. 90% of the population of the world. Isn't that interesting? Build a railway connection, and then get to work on improving the two conquered cities. Right. Anything else to it? Not really. So yeah, because I finished the drawing time lapse, I can get back to editing the videos, which doesn't actually take that long, at least not my effort, because I do use raw footage for these. I can try to trim it. I don't know. I mean, in theory, I could try to trim it down, but it takes more effort overall to get trimmed down videos than to just put in raw footage. And for the time being, I don't really have the energy to do that, so maybe sometime in the future I'll get back to that again. Time to start mining that uranium. Delicious yellow cake. Huh. Yep, pretty much what I figured. The only thing that can be built here is a farm. Give it a minute, this stuff hasn't loaded. There it is. The models. I'll get to it. Give me time so I'm actually able to do so. Okay, is there a spot that I can put? Yep. Excellent. And just want to double check. No, not even a fair farm in Fa. Okay, then. But yeah, now that I started editing, I also did the Renaissance videos. I've also decided to go ahead and count how many there are, and in total there are 12. Well, I mean, you should be able to check this yourself if you really wanted to, but in total there are 13 Renaissance videos, 12 of which are true Renaissance videos, by which I mean the entire video is in the Renaissance era. Yeah, so that means that the last video has to have the industrial drawing time-lapse. So I can't actually edit the video until I've done, well, that uses the drawing, the industrial drawing. So I can't do that until I've actually drawn it. So drawing time-lapse and all that. I think there's no real need to work those tiles. Well, not really need, more of point to doing so. Excellent. The more remains I build, the cheaper if I build more remains, then it becomes even cheaper to build those paleontology labs, because each one boosts the speed by 10%. It's the reason why building is so ludicrously cheap to build. Because I've been multiplying it by 0.9 over and over and over again.
The human brain must continue to frame the problems for the electronic machine to solve.
Yep. With that, I should be able to get modern physics. It is sad to lose the water clocks, but new cities can build those. Oh, ordnance smoke detector. Do we have a National Fire Service built already? I would hope so. Do I? I mean, on the other hand, it looks like I do, so... Okay. Now for the toughie. Which city built it? Okay, these are at least organized in alphabetical order, so... Okay, I need to go the other way then. There's the National Fire Service, okay. You have built that, okay. There it is. Wait, is the judge cheaper than this? Can I even build a judge in this city? Maybe. It would be ranked under civilian units. Sort by name. J. Yuan. Okay, it's not on the list of unbuildable units, so... Jeep, oh. Okay. Oh, didn't realize they were buildable. Okay. That should immensely speed things up. Okay, I say immensely. It is only a few turns at the most. Ugh. Okay, that's a bit much. At the very least, the exact quantity of episodes does mean that I have at least 4 weeks until I need to do that again, the drawing time lapse. But that is nice, not having that much buffer again. Of course, I still need to do everything surrounding it. But generally speaking, the biggest time and energy commitment is actually... Okay, it's recording this, but... second biggest would happen to be the well, the drawing time lapses themselves. I mean, the ideas come easy. Execution is very, very difficult. Oh, it's the new crane. Replacing the modern crane. Anyway, food processing plant. Nightclub, jazz club. Because the free celebrities, due to the fact that they now produce commerce, it also means they produce science. Because of that very commerce production. So yeah, as for why those manufacturing plants were being built in nearly every city, that is a plus 55% production. No, not 55. It's a plus 50% production multiplier building it. So why not build it? Oh, there we are. I don't know why I was... Because... I don't know why I was contemplating which one to grab. Considering I had exactly enough to build all of them. Right, for a farm. Right, infantry, infantry, infantry. There you are, and there's the pioneer. Neat. I can figure it out on my own. Where the heck it is. Okay, it's pretty obvious where to put you. I want to have this spot settled. That does mean I won't be able to reach the swamp over here, but I'm sure it's fine. I think it's best to plop you in Jude. There's enough transportation infrastructure to make it fairly easy to get to that spot. It's not perfect, nor near perfect, but still fairly good. All that jazz. Well, I'm not going to be able to get a fish to this city, so... point. Of course, actually picking a song with a drawing time lapse was, well, it was a fairly quick deal because all of it was classical music, you know, Bach and Mozart. I decided to just go with one of the Bach-Brandenburg songs, and I was honed in on, I think, 6-1. Because, well, C2C doesn't actually have any of its own Renaissance songs, so... There's a barbarian hunter there. Animals can be, to some extent, ignored. Although I still really should be more careful than I usually am around them. I really should be, but it's easier not to. I fully admit it. Okay, engineering school first. And, well, nothing else has the sheer efficiency of the engineering school. Or the factory. So, it's fairly obvious which is more valuable. Galvani. Oh.
It is impossible to trap modern physics into predicting anything with perfect determinism, because it deals with probabilities from the outset.
Yeah, I think I have mentioned before that that's why quantum mechanics broke so many physicists' brains at the very beginning. Because telling people that this perfectly deterministic science that they've studied for, decades actually works with probabilities baked in. Yeah, they're not going to take it well at all. Do I want to go with computing? Well, the programming language is pretty good, and I can go all the way for semiconductors. Ooh, the high-tech coal plant. I mean, I'm going to need microchips, but microchips, I just need that. Yeah, the high-tech coal plant is the replacement for the coal-fired dynamo and the coal plant. But it does the job of both while producing less flammability and pollution and less sickness and 5 more production. It's basically clean coal, is what is mentioned. So yeah, let's go for it. I mean, semiconductors only take 10 turns right now, so... I might be able to get all 3 of those this session, considering I've researched 2 techs in fairly short... No, don't do that. Okay, just... Okay, so we can do modern infantry. Barbarian hunters. Still haven't built that wonder. Have I even unlocked it? I don't remember. Is it worth it? Personal computers is right here. also go for solar power. That might be a bit too much though. Is it really worth it to grab an academy? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Not anymore. I'm too close. Just too close for it to be actually that valuable. So, no. I think I won't. So yeah, that is an indicator to stop building coal-powered stuff. Because within a short amount of time, less than 30 turns, I'll be able to build that. Which will lower a lot of costs. At least, well, production costs, I guess. And some other stuff too. The age-old need to be precise. At least I tend to have that need. Let's see here. Oh, I haven't built a tannery yet. Okay, fine. The leather factory gets top priority. And is that queue long enough? I'm not sure. Let's add a subway station. There. That should be long enough so that I can get to semiconductors by the time that the queue will be finished after semiconductors has been researched. Still need to get to the other stuff too, but eh. It can wait. Good lord. Fortify until healed. Fine. I can wait a little while before planting another city. Barbarian hunters. The problem is I think barbs get experience. Why haven't I connected? I really should do that, shouldn't I? Let's see here. Workboat, workboat, workboat. Here it is. Okay. And I'm not going to rush production. I know better than to do that. It's not actually worth it. Okay, let's see here. Yep, modern crane, rocket fuel refinery, expressway. Nightclub, atomic clock, jazz club, and laboratory. Food processing plant, and let's get through all this other stuff. Okay. That should keep the city busy for a while. There. The expressway will be unlocked. Ah, fine. Just wait on it. Construction firm. Is that necessary for the modern crane? Okay, fine. Then I'll have it just build that and wait for it to finish that. I mean, it's not like the modern crane is built for free. Nope. I must build it. Nothing gives it for free. Well, that's good to know. It is interesting that the cement mill is cheaper than the tannin maker or the brick mason, considering that these factories, um, the mason, the concrete mason, is more expensive than these three. Anyway, that was entirely unimportant. Let's see here. Yeah, just down the line. Okay, it becomes good enough to overcome until here. Okay, this, that, this, that. Yeah, just go down the line. I know that I will skip anything that... Yeah. Like, look at this thing. It's only 998 production now. The base cost is 8,040. I managed to reduce it to almost a tenth of the cost. Original cost. Okay, the factory gives that much. That's not great. But it's probably better than anything else I can do. Yeah. Yeah. The hematite gatherer would only get in on merit of leftover production. Overflow production is what it's called. Hmm. Free insurance office in every city. That gave me 2,000 gold income per turn. Maybe. Oh, whoops. Well, that's fine. I guess I could use it more. I'm definitely not justifying my own mistake after the fact. Why would I build a radio tower? Mountain mine's a way better use of the mountain itself. Oops. That was the to desktop key, which has predictable consequences upon being hit. I accidentally hit that instead of the shift key. Oops. Expressway. But I could use these more. But yeah, once I get the clean coal up and running, I should certainly be able to get flammability down. Anyway, no. Is there anything that I want to talk about? Not really. I mean, I'm well aware of the fact that I need to eventually start colonizing these areas, because someone will take them otherwise, even if it's just barb cities. And then I can't control the settlement locations anymore, but I do still need to grab this massive continent and all the other stuff. And Arctic cities aren't that useful. I would be far better off just working on this stuff as it comes up. So it's not fun, but there aren't very many options I have to work with. Crane, fuel. There, that's who needs a fur farm. It's strange that Palantir is getting a lot of animals, considering its very central location. no idea where that's from, but anyway. The extra health and culture from the extra health in all cities and culture from each specialist should severely increase the second green number up here. That's the sound for penicillin. Okay. That's... I mean, it's a major achievement, but... Romanesque military sounds is not the sort of thing I was expecting. I can say that much. I know that's a base game sound, I just don't remember what it's for. It's still silly nonetheless. Okay. If the crane is all, then I've already done the expressway stuff, so... Should still probably build that airport, just so I can get that flight school. And then, Constantinople will be approximately finished with its needed buildings. Let's put a stack of enemies. It's the only thing I can think of that would explain this much carnage. Okay, right. Gotta put that modern crane to good use. Well, gotta set up that modern crane so I can put it to good use. Kitty! Yes. A lovely name. Okay, make a tunnel here. That should really help with things. Mining camp, of course. And I can figure things out later. That's probably Kanoe. I can check by coming into here, and no. Yes? Oh. Well, that's not even that important, because the city has an advanced ironworks. So that just means that I'll lose more production if the advanced ironworks somehow burns down as well. Basically, it's slightly more of a nuisance than it otherwise would be. I've never made a typewriter factory? Okay, that means that I do have something to do before here. There it is. Okay, there. Now we finally have a source of the all-important typewriters. Actually pretty helpful. I think the shell worker has already been obsoleted, so... There, more thylacine remains to make the building even cheaper. Hmm. I think I might be at the point where it would be a smart idea to get that built. Yeah. Sadly, I'm still not at the point where I can get that construction firm for free, so... Modern offices it is. After building the university, of course, because I cannot turn down 2 production gain per turn of building. That's a bit of a ways away. Oh, that's right. That's close to the end of the continent. Yep. Up there is the northern tip, which reaches all the way to the ice cap.
Computers make it easier to do a lot of things, but most of the things they make it easier to do don't need to be done.
I mean, by dint of technicality, a lot of things don't need to be done. But yeah, there's a lot of waste involved when it comes to some aspects of computer processing. And certain ones are very much worse than others. Like large language models are not nearly as useful as you might think. At the very least, not based upon how much they get marketed, of all things. Which is a lot. Way more than they really should be. Feels like selling a solution to a problem that no one actually had yet. Please ignore the foghorn, that was the city. I'm not gonna enter on a couch, I don't want to hear that. Or of a sound, I just don't like it very much. Campgrounds instead. And animal racetrack. There. Papyrus Grove. Ooh. Which, considering how, yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. It just reforms outpaces the assembly plant. Oh, that city needs improvement badly. Net is too disconnected. I'm still unwilling to send anything there, and yeah, non-divine Kumon are too far away. I think all the nearby cities already have. Where are you? Oh, right here in Ogus. Fennec Fox. get that city a fur farm. Anyway, with computer science soon to be researched, I'll get quite a few new buildings again. Especially once I produce production, so, you know, fun times ahead for all. Levy. Okay, the Papyrus Grove tends to be rather good, but not that good. Not as good as that is. Wow, okay. Take that too. I should not grab the crane. But that foundry is looking mighty tempting. Yeah, grab. Anything more is a bit unreasonable. So, hydro plant. Guess the Papyrus Grove next. Yeah, Neural has plenty of production. Which is fairly good considering how many of its tiles are just for food production. Okay, so I have a couple options. Either I can follow the railway and plop a city in one of the tiles around here. Probably where the llama is, or maybe on the city ruins. Oh, there's ruins there. Or I can set up a city here and start working my way up this coastline. Up towards the far north. Yeah, let's go with the far north. I can also... No, I already lifted the unit. Not what I meant to click. Amphibious APC. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Ah, modern mechanization. Always a fun time. Okay, what to do with you? Oh. Yeah, that's kind of obvious. Mm, I think the current amount of cities is good enough so that I can at least wait a little bit longer before setting up a new one. Not many options left. Let's look at a leather factory. Yeah, okay. I really need to more readily remember the leather factory. Because there's a distinct tendency of it being a fairly obvious good pick. Okay, that should be good enough for the time being. Considering that there's going to be some fairly good units coming in. Right. Noro. I mean, if I keep the turns quick, which I've been doing a fairly good job of this round, it's weird. Snakes. On planes! Please, do the job and don't bother me. I know there's an aggressive animal nearby, but I've literally set you up with some protection. You'll be fine. I promise. Huh. Ooh, the Noria. I can't believe this city hasn't built that yet. How did I miss it? Maybe I mistook it for a water mill. Yeah, that's almost certainly what happened. Oh, and because I've researched modern physics, all the monasteries are now obsolete, so I can't build those anymore. I can still build temples, which can give me some buffs, though not quite as much as the monasteries. Which is mildly saddening, but what can I do about it? The laboratory makes up for it. To some extent. Especially in the cities without many religions. Ain't happening. Now, have you built the... Yes, you built the railroad. Okay. Alright, head back up here and handle that. And settle, right? Yeah, I'll be able to reach everything here. Alright, I can settle another city around here-ish, maybe. I'll figure it out down the line. Finish the railroad, would you? Mining camp, right there. Okay. Hmm. Okay, that just means I need to go through that again. It's fine, it's fine. Although, it's good to know now that the space bar lets me leave the city screen. I wasn't aware of this before, but now I am. Cool. What it means if I can set the city to idle. Please don't turn the last option to idle, actually. That would be pretty bad. Or add idle to the end after hitting spacebar. I certainly would not appreciate that. Anyway, computer science. Yet the program construct, unlike the poet's words, is real in the sense that it moves and works, producing visible outputs separate from the construct itself. The magic of myth and legend has come true in our time. One types the correct incantation on a keyboard, and a display screen comes to life, showing things that never were, no, or never could be. Also reminds me of LLMs, especially when writing code. Ah, just ask ChatGPT to sort in n time. In fact, I did it just now. And then the algorithm, and then the spat out code has a function, a junk function with no text on it, that is called sort in n time. It does nothing. Okay, the computer science department allows me to build the programming language and the software firm within the city. Yeah. So it's 20 production worth of buildings. I mean, much of the production from the computer science department is from the engineer. There's also a supercomputer that can provide me with production, but that requires a laboratory. Yeah, the production from the computer science department is actually from the engineer. So, okay, what else? Down the line, I guess. Let's see here. The watchmaker's shop is efficient enough to build before that. The electric lamps as well. Same with the bicycle shop. Peat fire dynamo. Gotta get back here. Okay. Okay, that's where it stops. I'll probably write the program, build the programming language, which somehow actually doesn't sound that wrong. Code is very funny with its terminology. Okay. Semiconductors are bust in the next 7 minutes. Forget it. Let me handle the city. I can do that. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm slowing down on it for the moment. Plain and simple, there are just way too many new cities for my workers to keep up, and I don't feel like adding more workers. It's already a bit touch and go at times. Anyway. Yeah, there's... I can have this workboat handle those tiles, so... Alright. Let's give Dorit a super sea tile. Because you really can't do better than that. Expressway. And let me get that chemical plant out of the way so I can get that rocket fuel refinery. Crane, computer science department. Yeah, the city already has a rocket fuel refinery. But I will build the airport so I can get that air shipping warehouse. I really don't build it often enough, so I don't know where it is. There it is. Okay. Chemical plant. Airport. Perhaps I shouldn't be doing that because of the whole, semiconductors and 9 turns. Have I even built the seawalls here? Yes, I think. Probably. Chemical plant. The airport is already built. Not the animal trainer horse or the aqueduct, though. It's the aqueduct. There it is. Okay. There I can do the gondola canals. Okay. Ancient customs. Yep, these buildings. Although I think I'll do the lumber camp first. Carpenter lumber camp. And then these. Efficiency. Nah, there's barbarian hunters running around there. It's not a good idea. Okay, the modern crane. And I think this might be the best building. And I'm correct. Why am I correct? Feels off in this instance. Okay, finally. Garapon is connected to Mononesia. Why don't I have fishing boats on those tiles? Can't build an offshore platform. I do wonder though. I mean, this could show me where I can build things. So... Nope, I can't build in the sea. Oh, that's odd. Just go up here. And yeah, this is just a really good spot to put some fishing boats. But there, you're now connected to the mainland. I could put the worker that's been sleeping in here on automated improvements. Yeah, the differing workers is definitely not an aspect of the base game. In base Civ 4, there's just the worker. You have one worker, and it doesn't change throughout the ages. Well, I say one worker. There is an exception. India gets India's unique unit is the fast worker, which distinguishes itself from other workers by having 3 movement points instead of 2. But otherwise, it's the same worker. They just change clothes as you get through the ages. It's really that simple. I believe the city has already built that, but not this. Okay. Yeah, there's no rocket fuel refinery. So. Right, I think I need to get you back to building this stuff. Let me get you that. Oh no, that's a lot. Look at this list. There. Modern offices, so I can build the construction firm, which is over here. God, I hope someone builds the World Tower. I hope I bothered to build the World Tower in one of my cities. Why haven't I done this yet? World Tower, World Tower. That's the World Trade Center. That's the Pentagon. Bell Labs. Maginot Line, put that on Neonesia. Getty Center, Free Art Gallery in every city. No, not needed. Empire State Building. There's the Wall Tower. I think 32 turns is long enough of an in-between for me to be able to handle another new city. Hey, what am I to do with you? Coastal Assault, I guess. Combat 6? Okay, I probably should have gotten the movement range so that you could move in further to do stuff. Oh, right, this tile wasn't in the cultural borders. You, and you. And rocket fuel refinery, so you need to build that chemical plant. Oh, it's one area, okay. I was wondering why there were so few buildings that needed to be built. Okay, you, and you. Okay, this is the airshipping warehouse, which means I need the airport. There we go. Well, we're not getting 7 conductors in 7 minutes. We're not even getting it in 10 minutes. At this rate, we might get it in another 10 minutes. Gosh, I hope not. CPO, Pliocene remains there. Let's see here. That can be built. Anything else? Ooh. Down there. Boxing kangaroo. Okay, start setting up kelp farms. Maybe the first 20 minutes were just a fluke or something, and I forgot to hit record somehow, or delayed the timer delayed or something. Yeah. Alright, tile's open. Carnival. Pliocene remains. I mean, tracked units and gunpowder units are going to make up most of the enemy's forces, so... Upgrade that to a railroad. Boxing kangaroo. I wish they would move from the tile already. Where are the hunters when you need them? Okay, the city needs an airport and a chemical plant. There. Okay. Hmm. Wait, no, I haven't built the tannery, so... That is actually pitiful. Okay, I'm building the levy first. How have I not built the guild hall yet? Parts plant. The oil refinery even. Okay, that should be good for the moment for this city skew. Yeah, the city is just not spreading its cultural borders fast enough to really be able to take advantage of it all. Oh, come on. Modern crane. That, and that. Rocket fuel refinery needed, and the airport. Well, not the chemical plant needed, and the airport. I mixed up the two together into the categories. Really should not be stuck together. Quality. Okay. Alright. And I'll end the session with that turn. Once semiconductors comes up.
I think it's doing very well. I'm pleased to see the concentration on semiconductors. I think this will help.
Yeah, remember how I mentioned that without quantum mechanics we would be using vacuum tubes? The reason for that is semiconductors. If it weren't for, semiconductors function entirely based on quantum physics. If it weren't for those, well, a lot of things would not work the way they really, really do. Yeah, let's go for diesel punk. That should unlock at least some interesting buildings. At the very least, some very interesting tanks. Is that the Rata? Okay. Is the music completely cut off? Hmm. Oh, right. I need to have microchips in a city before that can work. Oh, please don't tell me that it's only... Okay, so I need the animal trainer horse. I need the... Airport. I need the chemical plant? No, I do not need the chemical plant. Yeah, I don't. Oh, neat. Need the airport. Okay. Yeah, the thing needs a while to get itself going. Thankfully, I don't actually need to do the construction firm anymore. I can just ignore it. It will come up on its own eventually. Eventually. Just give it some time to figure itself out. As for the other stuff, yeah, don't build the coal plant. Don't build the coal power dynamo anymore. Those will get replaced within a reasonable amount of time. Actually, build the advanced iron and copper works first. Yeah, they actually are pretty efficient. So. Oh. Not very many animals this time. For this turn. So, set up some new cities over here. And the last of the barbarian culture is gone. At least for tiles. Okay, it fades away pretty quickly within the city. But there's nothing I can do about that function, so. Yeah. In fact, I've slowed down a bit on. I've swapped to building the war tower in Honolulu instead of pumping out settlers because there's just. I have at least 3 cities with 0 improved terrain. This one has just started getting its improvements. It's going to take a while for me to actually get anywhere because there's a backlog of stuff to do over here. Even if there isn't actually that much of a backlog, it still exists. I may need to pump out workers in another city and start transporting them over here. Of course, I still need to build buildings in every city. Yeah, I think the music cut off, so I don't hear anything at all. The golden age from building that one wonder is almost gone, so that's not that great, but well. I'll probably just gun for solar panel for using the rest of the golden age, and then go back and start researching some of the tech down here. That'd be a bad idea. But Coast Guard, well, Fair Terminal isn't that bad. I don't really need amphibious warfare, but hovercrafts. That is a dirigible tool. I believe that gets replaced at some point. Okay, there's no way to really 100% tell, but I do think it gets replaced by some point, but... Hmm. Well, I'm... Yeah, might as well. I'll get to the ideologies when I get to them. I mean, I need guerrilla warfare at some point or another. Although I can go pretty far without actually researching it. Although, in order for surrealism, I need communism. But I can go pretty far without guerrilla warfare. But modern warfare needs it. So does counterculture. I may go for new urbanism at some point or another. Free mixed-use development in every city. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Um. I'm just gonna stop here. So anyway, yeah. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye. What happened to the music?